tries to take care of him and really helps him out and basically saved his life. So in the beginning we think, hey, she's a great lady, really saving him. What did you think of the opening of Misery?
Like you said, I thought she was a good woman because she was taking care of him, like, because he couldn't walk and he had his shoulder dislocated too. So basically, I thought she was sweet for helping him because, you know, most people wouldn't do that. But then as the story started getting further in, how she told him, oh, I watched you for a while, watched you in your hotel room while you were leaving. I was like, okay, that's getting a little borderline psychotic.
Definitely. and then basically Kathy Bates, who plays Annie Wilkes. Oh, my God, she's crazy. And Paul Kahn plays Paul Sheldon. But basically then she starts getting a little fishy and almost like she doesn't want him to leave and like she really didn't call anyone to tell him she was there because he's her, quote-unquote, #1 fan. And basically what ends up happening is he is writing the end to one of the Misery books. I believe it's called Misery, and he's writing another edition, and the main character in Misery is killed off in one of the books, and she ends up reading it, does Annie Wilkes, and then she goes crazy. Misery wasn't supposed to die, and almost like taking it as if it was real, and she just goes insane. And
like she didn't know the borderline between this is like, okay, this is a book, this is fake, this is not based on a true story. You don't know this person.
Well, she was a head case, as they said in the previews, the trailer. And then anyway, what ends up going on, after that is basically, we're hinted that she didn't call anyone and that she's being very seclusive with him. And finally, all hell breaks loose, and he's thinking, I cannot get out of here. And then she goes into talking about how they're going to kill themselves together, and they're going to be together, and this and that, and he's pretty much trying to escape, basically. And he finds out that she's been feeding him, providing him with all kinds of sedatives and things like that to keep him in bed. So he tries to escape. He goes and looks at the phone, but the bottom of the phone is taken out. And, she's really psychotic, and she'll go and get him paper and everything because this is when he was typing the end to his story. So she goes crazy on him, basically, when the character was dead, so she made him rewrite the whole story, and he rewrites it and rewrites it and rewrites it. And at this time, he tried to escape. So in one of the most sick, stomach-churning,
twisting, demented
spots of all time, horror movie, almost revolutionary because this was in 1990, so people didn't see a lot of gore, but she put his feet in between a board and just cracked his ankles and broke both ankles with a sledgehammer. Do you remember that?
Yes, I did, and I was just thinking, oh my goodness, get out. She is crazy, like a lunatic.
Oh, my God.
There are no words for her.
So she wasn't going anywhere then, but then she made him redo the story in the end, and he finally snaps because he can't escape. He lights the story on fire. She goes crazy. They get in a big brawl, and this was so suspenseful and intense. He ends up hitting her over there with a typewriter, ends up killing her eventually. So, we just go on with tons of different things in the movie with people coming over to the house and trying to see what happened to him, searching for him, and she ends up shooting one of the sheriffs that come to look for him. A lot of things go on. It's incredible. He ends up, surviving and escaping in the end. This is a movie they could have drawn out with possibly a sequel, though, but this just was the typical suspenseful horror film. Not a lot of gore, but it was just tremendous. Revolutionary, creative, really enjoyed it. What you have any thoughts you'd like to add? It's a great movie, must see.
It's a great movie, and it's also, I don't know if most people know, but it's a book by Stephen King, and Stephen King, in my opinion, is a good horror novelist.
Oh, yeah, great.
Because
probably the best of all time.
Because they made, I don't know how many movies they have made based off his films, like 1408, Boogeyman, Carrie, It, Misery, what else? Dreamcatcher. Basically, I think he makes so much horror novels that every time you read one, it has to be good.
Oh, yeah. And again, this movie starred James Caan, Kathy Bates, and actually Richard Farnsworth. And overall, I would probably give this a good solid 4.25 stars out of 5. Would you agree?
Mhm.
Definitely check it out. Misery 1990, rated R. It's horror, but they can also dub this as a thriller. I would take it as a combination. So what we're going to do now really quick is we're going to play a Christmas carol, which is kind of has a horrifying twist to it in honor of Scary Christmas, Scary's Creepy Christmas here on Gruesome Gossip. So let's take a quick listen to this. Creepy.
That makes me really rethink about listening to Silent Night.
Oh, well, yes. We're not celebrating Christmas here on Gruesome Gossip. We're celebrating Creepy Christmas. But we're about to wrap things up here. I really appreciate you all coming. Again, download our past shows, comment, rate our show, send us friend requests. We would appreciate everything. We'll let you know when we're back on the air. You can check our official website out on www.gruesomegosssip.webs.com or our blog talk page here at www.blogtalkradio.com/Gruesome Gossip. Also go to Gruesome Gossip on our official YouTube page, and you can take a look at our blog talk page for MySpace and Facebook connections. And you can also check out our updates and things like that we will post on all of those different sources. We will be on iTunes soon, so we'll definitely let you know. Anything you'd like to say before we wrap up with our ending?
That horror movies that come out in Christmas get you in the holiday spirit, not for Christmas, but for horror.
Ho, ho, ho. And we are now going to finish up the show from Alina White and Todd Frizzell. This is Gruesome Gossip. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on blogtalkradio.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I want to play a game. Have you checked the children? Here's Johnny.
Why are you doing this to us? Because you're home.